It's 2 a.m. The world outside is quiet, but inside Jasmine's mind, there's a storm raging. She's just had her 14th birthday, and tonight, she's arriving at her shelter for the very first time. Everything she owns is in that trash bag. She clutches it like it's a lifeline. It's not much, a few pieces of clothing, one shirt that doesn't even fit her anymore, and her brother's pants. She grabbed but thought they were hers. She only had 5 minutes to grab things before being rushed into the caseworker's car to leave. There's also a broken phone. She hopes she can get it to work someday, because it holds the only photo she has of her siblings and every phone number of every person she cares about. These aren't just things. They're the last threads of life that she's lost. Her eyes dart around, scanning the faces for clues. Are these strangers safe? Can she trust the warm smiles of the staff members greeting her? Or is it just another empty promise? Her heart is racing, a mix of fear and shame. She's tired. Tired of the yelling, the moving, the pretending. Tired of being the problem that no one can solve. Her shoulders are heavy under the weight of it all. She's supposed to be asleep right now, like every other 14-year-old girl in this city. Instead, she's here, starting over again. But there's something else. Beneath the fear and the exhaustion, there is a tiny flicker of something she's almost forgotten how to feel. Hope. Maybe this time will be different. Maybe this time she won't have to run. Maybe this time someone will see her. Not the problems, not the files, not the label of foster kid, just Jasmine. The staff member comes in and offers her a blanket. It's her favorite color. Jasmine takes it, hesitant but grateful. She feels the warmth. It's the first thing that's been hers in a long time. Maybe, just maybe, she's not alone anymore. Maybe she can hope again.
That story was a mixture. Some of that was, a lot of you know that I recently adopted my 16-year-old. And I did not go into becoming a foster parent because I wanted to grow my family. I just wanted to be a safe place for kids to land until they could get back home. And that was the goal with Isaac. I was told he just needed a 30-day placement because he was going to be able to go home with family. And when he came to our shelter, he came from a juvenile detention center. Not because he had done anything wrong, not because he was serving time, but because I was the only placement available for him when he entered foster care. And he was there through Christmas, he was there through New Year's, then he was placed at our shelter. And he's amazing. He's incredible, and we just love him to death. And he obviously won my heart between January and the end of February that year. So I was like, okay, we'll take you for 30 days. And then it turned into 60, and then 90, and then a year and a half later, you know, we're having the conversation about adoption. But he has grown so much, and there's a lot of kids just like Isaac, you know, who come into care and of no fault of their own. They don't deserve it. They didn't do anything wrong. And we are at the shelter are like the first stable bedroom place that these kids landed to, and they're all amazing, like Isaac. They all deserve love. They all deserve people that know the color of their eyes. They have their dreams and their aspirations, and that are willing to say, we care about you and your dreams and everything that you can do. And we care about your families. We care about where you came from, right? Because it's not always because they were unwanted or because the parents don't love them, or these kids are often very much loved by family. And they love their families. There's a lot of reasons why kids enter care. But they just need good, healthy people that are willing to just walk alongside of them and say, we're here for you, you matter, we see you, we hear you, and it makes a difference. And I don't know how many of you have heard the story of the starfish thrower, right? Who hasn't heard it? So there's a man walking along the beach, and he sees in the distance someone that looks like they're dancing, right? They're like doing these motions, they bend down and they throw. And so as he gets closer, he realizes that this woman is picking up starfish and throwing them back in the ocean, right? The tide is going back, and the sun's coming up, and there's all these starfish lining the beach, and she's just throwing one at a time. And he's like, what are you doing? And she's like, you know, well, the tide is going back, the sun's coming up, all of these starfish are gonna die, so I'm just tossing them back in. And she's like, ma'am, there are thousands of them. What's the point? And she just listens politely and bends down, picks up another one, and tosses it back in. She's like, they made a difference for that one, right? And so we can't, I mentioned earlier that the kids in care right now, 2024, December, could fill the UT Stadium. And that's a lot. That's more than the people in this room could even begin to make a dent in. But at our shelter for 13 kids, we're making a difference. For Isaac, that one, we made a difference, and nobody could even begin to fathom the impact that each one of those lives will have on our communities, right? There's a whole bunch of us here that when we were teenagers, or snot-nosed kids, you know, like people might have been like, I don't know what this kid's gonna do, he's wild and crazy. And then some of you are sitting right here, business owners, making the community better, right? We just don't know the impact that these kids are gonna have. And so, with that, I'm looking for some really big, audacious connections this year. I want to connect with companies who are willing to commit to us for 1 year and say we will either financially support you or, yeah?
1 minute.
Oh, I have 1 minute. Oh, okay. I thought there was something going on. So I'm looking to connect with businesses who are willing to commit for a year, either financially or over here, I pulled a blanket out of what we call a welcome basket. You can come take a look of everything that's in here. I would love to have a company commit to supplying us with welcome baskets at the shelter. I've lined the table with pajamas. Thank you, Colburn Chiropractic. They did a pajama drive for us. We need pajamas so bad because these kids are coming to us. Isaac was one of those kids that came in the middle of the night with no clothes. He came with a broken phone that we never were able to recover photos and videos of his mom that passed away in May. So these are real stories, these are real things, and it's something as simple as a set of pajamas, it's brand new and clean, makes a big difference. And so I'm looking for businesses who are willing to say, for 1 year, we will commit to supplying you with pajamas, with welcome baskets, financially, or maybe you guys come together and do a community project quarterly together. There's lots of ways to give. Being a nonprofit is hard because everybody just assumes that all we're always asking for is money, and money is important and we need it. But we also need people, like the people in this room, who are willing to do something that is absolutely priceless. And that's just being a human body that says, you matter. Stacey, I know your name, I know the color of your eyes. I see you. And I want to go to your games, and I want to listen to you play the clarinet. And I want to show up to your recitals. That's priceless. You can't put a price tag on that. And it's things that carry kids for a lifetime. So thank you so much for all of you who have given of your time, of your resources, your finances. It all has made such a huge difference this year, and we're so grateful. Thank you.
I've been in BNI for now over 5 years. That was the most heart-hitting, I see a bunch of not right eyes.
Thank you, I'm an ugly crier, so thank you.
That was heart-wrenching. You know, just as a reminder, our goal every week is to have a visitor and have a referral and so forth. A referral can include a donation. So keep that in mind. If you're running a little low on referrals, make a quick donation. She's got QR codes to help. Always prepared.
Mike?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. I want to ask that we reverse this and everybody donate $25 to them.
Great idea.
Yeah, that's.
Everyone on the way out the door, voluntary of course, but that would be a great gesture.